It's time to do some Thursday night football. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Mayo Jones back, the big fan here, and we're here to do our we're gonna predict every winner of a Thursday night football game, and we're not gonna be doing the ratings, but we'll give you a winner of every Thursday night football game, giving you my picks and my analysis, see which team I think is going to win. So before I get started, don't forget to put the thumbs up, to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you think is going to win on Thursday night football. So we're gonna get started here. So first, we're gonna go. So we're gonna be going through week 2 through week 17, I think. Cause let me check to see. Okay, yeah, we'll be doing week 2 through week 17. But I know week 1 has a Thursday night football, but that's for Sunday night football. But I'm gonna get to that maybe later on. So but for right now, we gonna focus on Thursday night football games, which are primetime football games. So, by the way, we're going to get things started here. So, week 2, we have the Minnesota. So, we're going to go in order here. So, week 2, we got the Minnesota Vikings going on the road to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this game right here almost can definitely go either way, though. Now, this should be one of the most challenging games I've ever seen. Now, we understand that last year the Eagles whooped them, but Minnesota, I kind of feel like Minnesota might want that revenge from last year where the Eagles, have beated them, the only reason why that the Eagles have nearly blew out the Vikings is because, the Eagles put up a good game plan for the Vikings offense. Is where Slay, had a good game with 3 picks and did a good job shutting down Justin Jefferson. Now, I kind of feel like that I just don't think the Vikings can match up well with the Eagles really good on paper. And when you look at the Eagles defense, their defense is really talented. They can rush the passer, they can rush 3, they can rush 4. They can take advantage of their offensive line, and then you got a good secondary, which I said last year they found a way to take advantage of that. Like the Eagles, the only way they're going to win this game is they need to find a way to shut down Justin Jefferson, because last year they did a good job doing that. Because I kind of remember that one game, like when it got towards week 17 when Minnesota played against the Packers, Justin Jefferson didn't really do much in that game. But last year versus the Eagles, he didn't do much in that game. But I kind of feel like that Minnesota does have a chance. Like, I feel like this game can be close. I mean, as long as Minnesota, can stay in the game, I think they have a chance to keep it close. But I think Minnesota is going to have a chance to keep it close this time. I think they're going to play better like they did last year, because last year they didn't do as good against the Eagles. So, if this game is in Minnesota, I might lean towards the Vikings. But since it's in Philadelphia, I'm going to take the Eagles, because I just think the Eagles are just a more complete team. And they have the better defense, and they're better on the offensive line. They have a better O-line than the Vikings. So I feel like the Vikings defense is a little bit – I just don't have faith in the Vikings defense. I think the Vikings defense is a little bit overrated. And especially, I think the Eagles have a good offensive line, which I think they can run the ball on the Minnesota Vikings. They'll pass block the Vikings to put their defense in a bad position. And I think they can get the Vikings offense some fits. So I don't think Minnesota is going to have an answer for Hurts, or going to have the Hurts for the weapon read of A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert, especially for their running game as well. I just kind of feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna put up a show here, and I feel like he's gonna make some plays where he can scramble for first downs and all that. So yeah, I think it will be close, but I'm gonna take the Eagles here. The next game we have the week 3. We got the New York Giants playing against San Francisco 49ers. I believe this game is actually the home opener of the Niners. Now, I feel like this game right here is much reliable. Now, the Niners do have questions at quarterback, which I don't know who's going to be starting, whether it's going to be either Sam Darnold or Trey Lance or Brock Purdy if he decides to play. But I'm regretting it that because I also heard that saying that Brock Purdy's not sure if he's going to play this year. So if he doesn't play this year, I don't think it really matters though, because I kind of really feel that the Niners are really good on both sides of the ball here. But if this game was in New York, I might lean towards the Giants here. But since this game's in San Francisco, I'm going to take the Niners because the Niners are just a more complete team. They have the better coaching staff. They're a better coach team, and they're at home, and they're better on the offensive and defensive lines. So I think the Niners' defensive line, can take advantage of the Giants. They can stop their run game, and then they have a good secondary that can really take advantage of the Giants' passing game because the Giants don't really have much at wide receiver. So yeah, and I just kind of feel like that the Niners are gonna put up numbers. They're gonna put up a show here. Their offense is gonna find a way to at least put the Giants defense in a bad position. So yeah, I think it will be close, but I'm gonna take the Niners here to win. All right, so next game, week 4, we got the Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers. Now, last year we kind of remember that the Lions had swept the Packers. Now the Lions have to go on the road to Lambeau Field to play against Jordan Love. But I kind of feel like Green Bay could be dealing with some learning curves because they got Jordan Love as a starter. I mean, they got a new culture. I mean, they got their offense is pretty young, but I just kind of feel like that that Green Bay, I don't really know how good they're going to be, but I still think they're going to be competitive though, but I just don't know if they're going to be the same without Aaron Rodgers, but I think it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve, and I think it's probably going to take some time for them to figure it out. But the defense is still pretty good, but the offense is pretty young. So I think the Lions can definitely win this game, but I'm going to take the Packers because Green Bay owns the Lions, and, I just think the Packers are just even though I think the Lions are going to be a better team than Green Bay this year, I think the Packers are going to win this game because they're at home and Lambeau's a tough out in the play. And I kind of feel like their defense is going to make some plays. And I think Jordan Love's going to put up a show here. So yes, but I think it will be close, but I got the Packers winning this game. Week 5, we got the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders. Now this game right here could definitely go either way though. Now I kind of remember this game from last year though when they played against each other. I believe that Washington actually last year this game was actually in Chicago and Washington went on the road and won that game. So yeah, I kind of remember that from last year. Cause I remember last time when these two teams played, I believe Washington won that game, but that game was in Chicago. But now this time, this game is actually in Washington this time. So I feel like it can definitely go either way. Now, most people are probably going to pick the Bears to win because Washington might have questions at quarterback, but I don't really think that really matters though. But sometimes it might matter, sometimes it don't. Because I've seen some people picking the Bears to win because they have more trust in Fields than Sam Howell. But who knows? I mean, that's a game where I think the Bears can win because they have the quarterback advantage. And believe it or not, Fields is a better quarterback than Sam Howell. And then, you got, the Bears, They got some good weapons on offense. DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet. They got some guys on offense that can really give the Washington defense a problem because their secondary is pretty young. And then, their offensive line did a good job improving. Maybe they can give Commanders defense a problem, like I said. But I feel like the Bears defense is not as good, but it's not that great. I mean, their defense is their secondary is young. But if this game is in Chicago, I might lean towards Chicago. But I'm going to take the Commanders to win because they're at home. They have a better coaching staff. I feel like Eric Bieniemy is going to have a good game plan against this Bears defense. And I just think they're just more talented. I mean, they have a more talented defense. And I kind of really feel like that their defense can find a way to at least like slow down the Bears running game and make life difficult on the Bears, make life difficult on Justin Fields. So I think Washington finds a way to win this game, and especially the weapon read of Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dawson as a receiving duo. It's going to be too much for the Bears secondary to handle. So I think Sam Howell should be able to at least like move the ball in that Washington offense. They should be able to move the ball against that defense of the Bears, which is not pretty good. So yeah, I think it will be closer like last time, but I think the Commanders win this game. All right, next game, week 6, we have the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This game right here can definitely go either. Now, this is a Sean Payton going on the road against the Chiefs. Now, I think this game right here is going to be very interesting, though. But I'm going to lean towards the Chiefs because the Chiefs are just a more complete team. They have the better coaching staff. They're at home. And I think, and believe it or not, they got the better quarterback. I mean, think about it. Patrick Mahomes is better than Russell Wilson. I mean, I just don't trust Russell Wilson. I kind of feel like that Russell Wilson he's washed. I mean, he's not playing like he used to play and stuff like that. And Denver's probably going to be dealing with some learning curves and all that because of a new coach. And plus, now Russell Wilson. Now, I think the Broncos, I think they're going to be a decent team this year. If Russell Wilson can probably get back to where he was, I think they will be a good team. So, yeah, but I think this game is going to be closer than last time, but I think the Chiefs win this game. But barely. But I say it will be close. Next game, week 7, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints. This game right here can definitely go either way. Now, most people are kind of leaning towards Jacksonville to win because they're just a more complete team. But I don't really know because I kind of really feel like that Jacksonville is kind of a young team, and then the Saints are kind of like an older team. Like, they're kind of an older version. I think it can definitely go either way because think about this. When the Saints play against tough opponents, they lose at home. I'm just saying they lose at home, especially Jacksonville. When they play against tough opponents, they just tend to lose. But I think this game right here is definitely going to be very interesting. It's going to be very close. And I think the Saints I think this game will be very competitive. I think it will be close. But I kind of feel like Jacksonville's defense is underrated. I think they can make life difficult on Derek Carr. And so it's the offense. But I kind of feel like that against an older defense like the Saints, I think Trevor Lawrence can definitely have success. But I think it will. So, yeah, I think this game will be competitive in this game. But if this game is in Jacksonville, I might lean towards Jacksonville. But since it's in New Orleans, I'm probably going to lean towards the Saints because I just kind of feel, even though I think Jacksonville is a better team than the Saints, I think the Saints are going to pull off the upset because I just kind of feel like that Jacksonville offensive line is very decent, but I just kind of feel like that this defense is going to give Trevor Lawrence some fits and that offense some fits. And then they have a dominant secondary that can handle business. Like, they need to find their matchups, like Lattimore maybe cover maybe Calvin Ridley. and then maybe Tyrann Mathieu maybe cover Evan Ingram and such like that. So yeah. And also, I think against I don't think Jacksonville's secondary is nothing special. Like I don't have trust in their secondary. So I just kind of feel like that the Saints offense. So I feel like Derek Carr should be able to put up a show here. And I think the weaponry of Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Rashid, those guys are going to be too much for the secondary to handle. So I think this game will be close, but I think the Saints win this game. But I say maybe they win by a field goal or a touchdown. All right, the next game, week 8, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Buffalo Bills. This game right here, no Tom Brady. So the starter is going to be Baker Mayfield as a starter. So we don't know who's going to be starting. Whether it's going to be Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. But who knows? But I got to take the Bills here because the Bills are just a more complete team. They have a better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home. So, yeah, and also I feel like the Bucs are kind of regressing. I feel like the Bucs are not going to be a good team this year. I kind of feel like their whole team regressed. So I think the Bills should have success passing the ball on them, run the ball on them. And I think their defense should have success against the Bucs, offense, which their offense is totally it's okay, but not great. But I think the Bills defense might have a chance to at least make life difficult on Baker Mayfield, or Kyle Trask, whoever's playing at quarterback. So yes, so I got the Bills here. Then week 9, we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers. The game right here can definitely go either way, but I kind of really feel like when I look at the matchup, I feel like it's going to be a fun game to watch. Both top defenses in the league. Now, I kind of really feel like that, the Steelers, with their pass rush, I just kind of feel like both of their pass rushes are decent, but their offensive lines are a little sketchy and they're kind of young. But I kind of feel like Tennessee did improve their old line, though, and so the Steelers, though, improve their old line a little bit. But, yeah, I kind of feel like it's a game where I think Tennessee can definitely pull off a win here. I mean, it could go either way though, but I kind of feel like that the Steelers are kind of a bad matchup for the Titans because here's the big deal. The Steelers have a great defensive line, and they can really make life difficult on the Titans' offense. And who's ever going to play quarterback? Like, I don't even know who's going to play quarterback. Whether it's going to be Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, or Will Levis. Like, who knows? Titans kind of have a quarterback. They have questions at quarterback. I mean, I feel like this game is going to be closer, but if this game is in Tennessee, I might roll the Titans here. But since it's in Pittsburgh, I'm going to take the Steelers because I just think the Steelers, are just a more complete team. They're at home. They're more stable with the quarterback position. And I just kind of feel like that their defense should do enough here to slow down the Titans' running game. And they have a good enough secondary that they can really, handle business against the Titans. Because the Titans don't really have much at wide receiver. Outside of Treylon Burks, they don't got nobody else on the receiving core. Because I felt the Titans receiving core, it's like the Titans receiving core is totally not great. Like, I don't think they did nothing to improve it. Outside Treylon Burks is not good. But I kind of really feel like and also, the Steelers, they have more receivers. Like, their receiving core is better. So, yeah. So I kind of feel like if Tennessee doesn't really do nothing on defense, I think they're going to get ran on. Like, here's a chill. The only way the Steelers can win this game is that if they stop the run. Like, if they don't stop the run right away, they're going to get ran on. I'm saying. So, yeah, but I think it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think it will be ugly. So, I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game, maybe by a field goal. All right, next game, week 10, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. But I kind of really feel like this game right here is definitely going to be fun to watch. Now, this game right here is definitely in Chicago, but this is the game right here is very challenging though. Now, the Bears should have at least picked Bryce Young if they wanted to, but they chose not to. They chose to stick with Justin Fields. Now, some people are probably going to be picking the Bears to win because Justin Fields, because the Bears had the home field advantage. But I don't really think it matters though, because I don't think the Bears defense, again, like, I don't think the Bears defense is good, but their offense is okay, but their defense is not good and it's young. Their offensive line's pretty young. Now, this could definitely be the DJ Moore revenge game. Like, don't get me wrong. This could definitely be the DJ Moore revenge game. Where I think so yeah. But I kind of really feel like that the Panthers, the Panthers offense is very good. I mean, they have some talent on offense like Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Hayden Hurst, Jonathan Mingo, Terrence Marshall, Miles Sanders. I mean, their offense is pretty talented, and their offensive line still needs some work. I mean, I like to say the Bears have a better old line. So I kind of really feel like that the Bears, I feel like Justin Fields, he can definitely put up a show here against this young Panthers defense. I mean, the Panthers defense is pretty young, but it's pretty much underrated. And also, I think their secondary is pretty underrated as well. But if this game was in Chicago, I mean, I know this game's in Chicago and I want to take the Bears to win, but I'm going to lean towards the Panthers here because I just think the Panthers are just a more complete team. They're a better coach team. And I just kind of really feel that the Panthers, have the better defense as well. I think their defense finds a way to at least like slow down the running game, make life difficult on Justin Fields. And I think their secondary will probably have answers for the Bears passing game because Justin Fields, he can't really throw the forward pass. Like, he doesn't really know how to read a defense. So I think this game will be closer than we think, but I think the Panthers win. But I'm going to say this game right here, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it will be closer. I'm going to say Carolina wins like 23, 27, like 20, something like that. So, yeah, I got the Panthers. Week 11, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. This game right here could definitely go either way as well. Now, I kind of feel like that both these two teams are going to be a good team. They're both going to be fighting for a contender. Now, what I like to say is that I kind of really think that this game right here will be very interesting to watch. Now, I wish this game was in Cincinnati, but if this game was in Cincinnati, I think the Bengals can win. But since this game's in Baltimore, I'm going to lean towards Baltimore because they're at home and they have the home field advantage. And I kind of really feel like the Ravens match up well with the Bengals really good because last year they beat them by they beat them by 9. They beat them by 2 last time. But I think the Ravens can match up well with the Bengals really good. They have the corners to match up well with the Bengals receivers. They have a good pass rush that can really slow down the Bengals running game and make life difficult on Joe Burrow. And then they have the offensive weapons like Zay Flowers, OBJ, Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews. They have the offensive weapons to move the ball against the Bengals defense. So, yeah. So, as long as, I think this game will be competitive, but I think if Joe Burrow doesn't really get washed, I think they have a chance to stay in the game. So, I feel like it will be closer like last time, but I think the Ravens win. All right, next game, we have Week 12. We have the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. This is like the first Black Friday game NFL is going to host. So I kind of feel like this game right here can definitely go a little bit either way. Now, I kind of remember last year that the Jets, beat them once last year. Because I think they did beat them once last year. I think that's without Zach Wilson. But now this is a different team. Now, this is with Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? I kind of feel like this game right here can definitely go either way though. But I kind of really feel like that, Miami Dolphins and the Jets are both talented teams. The Jets, I kind of like to say that I'm kind of really not confident about the Dolphins defense, but their defense is okay, but their defense is kind of a little bit overrated, but their offense is fine. But I kind of feel like this game right here is going to be very close, and I feel like Miami's going to stay in the game, and I think they're going to try to control time possession. But I think, but if this game is in Miami, I might pick the Dolphins to win this game. But since it's in New York, I'm going with the Jets here because I think the Jets the Jets got the better quarterback. They're at home. I think they have a better defense as well because I think the Jets, what I think they can do on defense, I think they can slow down the Dolphins' run game. Their secondary will probably have answers for their passing game, and plus their offense will have answers for the blitzes as well. Because I don't think the Dolphins. I feel like Hack is going to put up a good game plan against Vic Fangio's defense. So I think the Jets defense finds a way to get some pressure, and I think they find a way to make life difficult on Tua and their secondary. I feel like with Sauce Gardner, he has to find a way to at least shut down Tyreek Hill. So I think they're gonna like find a way to at least find a way to at least like cover I think they find a way to shut down the Dolphins passing game, like force Tua to hold on to the ball. They're gonna force him to pass the ball, but the Dolphins may not do it. So yeah, and also I kind of feel I feel like Aaron Rodgers will be able to put up a show here, especially they have the offensive weapons like Garrett Wilson, Mecole Hardman, Allen Lazard, Breece Hall. The Jets have the offensive weapons, to like move the ball against the Dolphins defense. So yeah. So I think it will be closer, and I think it kind of will be a shootout, but I think the Jets find a way to win this game. I'm going to say they win by a touchdown or maybe a field goal. All right, next game, Week 13, we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Dallas Cowboys. This game right here it's going to be fun to watch, but I kind of feel like the Seahawks are going to be a good team this year. They got some good talent on offense and on defense. Their defense starting to get younger. The Cowboys defense is definitely improved, and so is their offense. But I want to see this game go either way, though. If this game is in Seattle, I might go Seattle here. But I think this game is going to be very close and it's going to be competitive. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys because they're at home. They have the better quarterback. And I just think they're just a more complete team. And I just kind of feel like that their defense I think they have the better defense. I think their defense finds a way to at least like shut down, the Seahawks passing game. I think they're gonna stop the pass. I think they find a way to stop their passing game. I think their pass rush is gonna find a way to like make life difficult on Geno and probably like force them to pass the ball and probably like need to find a way. And I think they need to find a way to at least like stop the run and slow down Seattle's rushing attack. And then they have the offensive weapons, to move the ball against the Seahawks defense, especially against that young secondary. So I felt that the weapons of Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, those guys are going to be too much for the secondary of the Seahawks to handle because I feel like Seattle's secondary is proven, but it's young. So yeah, but I think it will be close. But I got the Cowboys winning this game. Now, next game, Week 14, we have the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers this game right here can definitely go either way. Now, I believe last time when these two teams played, I believe that the Steelers, I believe the Patriots have won that matchup. But it was kind of a low-scoring game. It was kind of ugly. But I think this game right here is going to be ugly too because these two teams have a good defense. Offensively, they're okay, but not great. Their offense is really great, but I don't think the Steelers' offense is great. I think the Patriots' offense is better. But I kind of really feel like that, it's kind of weird to say that. I think the Patriots have a better it's kind of weird to say that people might just picking the Steelers to win this game because they have a better defense and their defense can match up well with the Patriots. But I kind of remember when the Patriots did beat the Steelers last time. But I kind of feel like this is a game where Pittsburgh can win because Pittsburgh has a good defensive line and they can definitely make life difficult on Mac Jones. But both of their secondaries are pretty good, but I kind of like to say that the Patriots have a better. They both have a good offensive line, but I don't think Steelers' offensive line is good. But I kind of really feel that Pittsburgh. I kind of feel like this game is going to be very challenging, though. And Bill Belichick, he's good against rookie quarterbacks, and he's good at confusing young quarterbacks as well. But I feel like this game is going to be very close. But the game's in Pittsburgh. But I'm probably going to take the Patriots because I just think the Patriots are just a more complete team. I'm probably going to I'm not to say they're a better team, but I'm just going to take the Patriots because I just kind of feel like the Patriots have a better offensive line. And I just kind of feel like their defense can find a way to at least make life difficult on Kenny Pickett because I don't think the Steelers' offensive line is that good. So the Patriots' defensive line with their pass rush can take advantage of that. They'll find a way to stop their running game. And then they have a dominant secondary that can really at least take care of business against the Steelers receivers. Like maybe they need to find their matchups against Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Allen Robinson, and Pat Freiermuth. So yeah, I think this game will be super close and very competitive, but I got the Patriots. Next game, week 15, we got the Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. This game right here is going to be very interesting to watch. Now, this time, later in this year, this game is in Las Vegas, but I kind of really feel like this game can definitely go either way, though. But I kind of really want to take the Chargers because I like to say Chargers are a more talented team and more talented defense. But this game's in Las Vegas. I'm probably going to take the Raiders to win because I just think the Raiders are I just kind of felt the Raiders just play the Chargers tough because think about it. The Raiders, have a good offense with firepower with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Michael Mayer and Josh Jacobs. The offensive skill is pretty good. And Josh McDaniels has had success against the Chargers in the past. Because I remember in the end of the year last year, the Raiders beat them in a shootout. And that's when their defense started to play better. But I kind of feel like their defense with their pass rush can definitely make life difficult on Herbert. So, yeah. And Brandon Stanley doesn't really have a good game plan, though. But if he has a good game plan, then I think I think the Chargers can win. But I kind of really feel that if he doesn't get a good game plan against the Raiders, then the Chargers are probably going to get ran on. So I think Josh McDaniels is going to put up a good game plan against his Chargers defense, which they can't really stop the run here. So I think the Raiders can definitely put up a show here. But this if Jimmy G, plays this year. Now, there were rumors saying that Tom Brady might join the team. But I kind of really feel that Jimmy G, with this Raiders offense, I think the Raiders put up a show here in their stadium. But I think it will be close, but I got the Raiders here. Then week 16, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Rams. This game right here could definitely go either way. But I kind of really felt that both these two teams probably have regressed this offseason. I don't think the Rams are going to be really good as they were for a couple years ago. I kind of really feel like that, the Rams are kind of our rebuilding team. And the Saints are pretty much okay, but I want to go with the Rams here, but I don't really know if Matthew Stafford's playing this game. But if he plays this game, I don't really know if it matters, though. And even as in LA, I don't really think it matters, though. But I'm probably going to go ahead and just take the Saints to win because the Saints are just a more complete team. So, yeah. And, any team, that the Rams, play who has a good defensive line, they struggle against. So I kind of feel like that the Rams offensive line, I don't think it's as good as it was. So I think the Saints defensive line takes advantage of that. And I think the secondary can probably handle business, though. And plus, I don't think the Rams defense outside Aaron Donald is not great. So I kind of feel like that Derek Carr, he should be able to at least put up a show here against his Rams defense. Because I kind of feel like Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, those guys are going to be too much for his secondary to handle. And I feel like that the Saints running game is probably going to put up a show here as well. I think they're going to find a way to move the ball against that Rams defense. So, yeah. So I think this game right here will be closer. As long as they stay competitive, I think it will be closer, though. But I remember this game from last year where this game was in New Orleans. I believe the Saints had beat them with Andy Dalton. But now this time, this is with Derek Carr. So, yeah. So I think it will be close, but I'm taking the Saints to win this game. Then the final Thursday night football game, we got the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, I believe this game right here could definitely go either way. Now, some people might pick the Jets to win, but I don't know because last time when these two teams played, I believe the Jets have won because I think the Browns, was up by a lot of points and the Jets somehow end up finding a way to come back. But you know what? I think this game right here can definitely go either way. But I think the Browns, are one of those teams that, they're kind of one of these teams that can definitely confuse some opponents. But I kind of feel like that the Browns did improve their defense. And I think they did improve their offense as well. But this is a game where I think Deshaun Watson will play. But I kind of really feel like that. I mean, if this game is in New York, I might lean towards the Jets. But I just kind of feel like I kind of like the Browns here in this matchup. I think they match up fairly well with the Jets, really good on paper. Because the Browns have a good secondary. They have a good pass rush. I think their defense can definitely make life difficult on Aaron Rodgers. And I think their secondary can probably handle business, though, against the Jets' passing offense. I think they'll find a way to stop Aaron Rodgers' passing game. But I kind of feel like this is a game. I kind of feel like the Jets can do the same thing. Maybe maybe their DM, because the Jets defense is pretty much underrated. Maybe they give Deshaun a tough time and his Browns offense fits where they can't run the ball and can't pass the ball on them. But I think the Browns are going to be able to move the ball against this Jets defense. Stefanski's going to put up a good game plan against this Jets defense as well. So, yeah, I think this game right here is going to be close and it's going to be fun to watch. But I'm going to lean towards Cleveland because they're at home, and I think they match up fairly well with the Jets. I think their defense can probably handle business against the Jets' offense, and I think Deshaun is gonna put up a show here in this game. So I think this game will be close and it will be a shootout. But I'm going to take the Browns to win. But I'm going to say they win maybe by a touchdown or maybe a field goal. I'm going to say they win by a field goal. Well, all right, guys. Those are all my predictions for Thursday night for my NFL Thursday night football games. Hope you guys enjoy watching, and don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments down below what you think. Well, it's Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.